You don't have to be in a courtroom to need legal protection. Legal risks show up in everyday life, in the contracts you sign, the conversations you have, the agreements you make, and the decisions you take without even thinking twice. Most people wait until something goes wrong before they think about the law. By then, it's often too late. Today, we're changing that. Welcome to Law of 10, where we break down the law into the top 10 things you actually need to know. Today's list, the top 10 ways to protect yourself legally in everyday life. These are practical, actionable, and could save you from a world of trouble. Let's get into it. Number 10, always get it in writing. If someone makes you a promise, a landlord, a contractor, an employer, a business partner, get it in writing. Every time, no exceptions. We already know that verbal agreements can be legally binding, but proving what was actually agreed is where people run into serious trouble. A written record, even a simple email confirming the terms of an agreement, creates evidence that is hard to dispute. It doesn't need to be a formal legal document drafted by a lawyer. A clear email, a text message thread, or a signed letter can all serve as powerful evidence in a dispute. The habit of confirming agreements in writing costs you nothing but a few minutes. The failure to do so can cost you the thousands of dollars, months of stress, and a legal battle you could have avoided entirely. Get it in writing always. Number 9, read every contract before you sign. The vast majority of people sign contracts, rental agreements, employment contracts, terms and conditions, service agreements, without reading a single word. When you sign a contract, you are legally bound by its terms, whether you read them or not. That clause buried on page 7 that waives your right to sue, binding. That auto-renewal term that charges you for another year if you don't cancel within 30 days, binding. Courts in most jurisdictions will not rescue you from a contract simply because you didn't bother to read it. You don't need to be a lawyer to read a contract. You just need to slow down and pay attention. If something is unclear, ask for an explanation. If something seems unfair, negotiate. If you're signing something significant, consider having a lawyer review it first. Number 8, document everything in disputes. The moment you sense a dispute is developing, with a landlord, an employer, a contractor, a neighbor, or a business, start documenting everything immediately. Save every email, screenshot every text message, write down dates, times, and the details of every conversation. Keep copies of every payment, receipt, and invoice. If a conversation happens in person or over the phone, follow it up immediately with an email summarizing what was discussed. In legal disputes, the party with the better documentation almost always has the stronger case. Evidence doesn't just help you win, it often prevents disputes from escalating in the first place. The moment something feels wrong, start documenting. Don't wait until it becomes a crisis. Number 7, know your consumer rights before you buy. Every time you spend money on a product, a service, a holiday, a subscription, you have legal rights as a consumer. In most countries, goods must be of satisfactory quality, fit for purpose, and as described. Services must be carried out with reasonable care and skill. If they're not, you are generally entitled to a remedy, a refund, a repair, or a replacement. These rights exist regardless of what a company's returns policy says. Store policies cannot override the law. Before you make a significant purchase, spend 5 minutes understanding the consumer protection laws in your country. It costs you nothing. And when something goes wrong, you'll know exactly where you stand. Number 6, understand what you're agreeing to online. Every time you click, I agree on a website, an app, or an online service, you are entering into a legally binding contract. Online terms and conditions can include clauses that allow companies to share your personal data, change the service without notice, limit their liability to you, and prevent you from taking legal action against them individually. You don't need to read every word of every terms and conditions document, but for services you use regularly for anything involving payment and for anything involving your personal data, Taking the time to understand the key terms is a basic form of legal self-protection that most people skip entirely. Number 5. Protect your digital privacy actively. Your digital footprint has real legal implications. The photos you post, the statements you make online, the data you share with apps and platforms, all of it can be used against you in legal proceedings, employment disputes, and civil litigation. In many jurisdictions, social media posts have been used as evidence in divorce cases, personal injury claims, criminal trials, and employment disputes. Protect yourself by regularly reviewing your privacy settings on every platform you use. Submit data access requests to find out what companies hold about you. Be mindful of what you post publicly. Your digital life is not separate from your legal life. And treating it that way is a risk you cannot afford to take. Number 4, know the basics of your employment rights. Your workplace is one of the most legally significant environments in your everyday life. And most employees have no idea what their rights actually are. You have the right to a written employment contract in many countries. You have the right to be paid at least the minimum wage. You have the right to safe working conditions. You have the right to be free from discrimination and harassment. You have the right to take legally protected leave. And critically, you have the right to raise concerns about your workplace without facing retaliation under whistleblowing protections that exist in many countries around the world. Knowing the legal framework that governs your workplace is not optional. It is essential. Number 3, create a basic paper trail for major life decisions. Marriage, separation, buying a home, starting a business, lending money to a friend or family member. These are the moments in life where legal documentation matters most. And yet these are precisely the situations where people most often rely on trust and verbal understanding instead of written agreements. Lending money to a family member without a written agreement is one of the most common sources of legal disputes worldwide. Starting a business with a partner without a shareholders agreement is a recipe for catastrophic disagreement later. A basic written record of major life decisions is not a sign of distrust. It is a sign of wisdom, and it can protect everyone involved when things don't go according to plan. Number 2, make a will. If you die without a will, the law decides what happens to everything you own. Your assets, your property, your savings, and your personal possessions will be distributed according to the intestacy rules of your country or state. Those rules may bear no resemblance to what you would actually have wanted. Unmarried partners are frequently left with nothing. Children from previous relationships can be overlooked. Making a will is one of the single most important legal steps any adult can take. And the majority of people never do it. You do not need to be wealthy to need a will. You simply need to have people in your life who matter to you. A will is how you protect them after you're gone. Number 1, know when to get a lawyer. Perhaps the single most important way to protect yourself legally in everyday life is knowing when a situation has moved beyond what you can handle alone, and getting professional legal help before it's too late. People delay consulting lawyers for 3 main reasons: cost, intimidation, and the belief that the situation isn't serious enough. All 3 are dangerous miscalculations. Many lawyers offer free initial consultations. Legal aid exists in many countries for those who cannot afford representation. The situations people dismiss as minor can escalate rapidly into costly, complex legal battles. You don't need a lawyer for everything, but you do need to know when you need one. And the answer is almost always sooner than you think. And that's your top 10 ways to protect yourself legally in everyday life. The law isn't something that only matters when things go wrong. It's a framework that touches every decision you make. The people who understand that are the ones who are protected when it matters most. If this video gave you even one thing you're going to act on, Hit that subscribe button right now, because every week we bring you the top 10 legal facts that could change the way you live your life. Share this with someone who needs to hear it, because legal knowledge isn't just power, it's protection. I'll see you in the next one. Disclaimer: the content on this channel is for general educational and informational purposes only and does not constitute legal advice. Laws vary significantly by country, state, and jurisdiction. Nothing in this video should be relied upon as a substitute for professional legal advice tailored to your specific situation. If you have a legal issue, please consult a qualified lawyer in your jurisdiction.